Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught. Welcome back to my channel. My name is John Westover, and again I'm making this playlist to help guitar players learn how to use their guitar and their hymn book to lead congregational singing. So I'm using the Rejoice hymnal for the church at worship. I'm opened up to hymn number 230, and I have written in here, like we talked about last time, the guitar chords that I'm going to be playing. I have, for this one, I have the finger picking pattern that I'm using. That'll remind me. I want to say a word about the treble clef, the key signature, and the time signature. I would like to be able to help you to open up your hymn book and look at the key signature and get an idea about what you're going to have to do on your guitar, and also to look at the time signature. So to explain that, I have up here the treble clef, or it's called the G clef, and that's on the music staff, 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up on the 5th line, it looks like a hashtag. It's a sharp symbol, and that is a F sharp. So when you see a sharp symbol on the 5th line, like that, just one of them, you know that you're in the key of G. That's all you really need to know. Just memorize that. When you see that in between the treble clef and then the time signature, you know you're going to be in the key of G, and you need the chords that go with the family of G. So then you notice beside it that there's a 3-4. That's the time signature. 3-4, the only thing you need to know about that is the number on top. That 3 means that there's going to be 3 counts per measure. I'm getting really advanced this time. There you go. And so what I have written in is a finger picking pattern and a strumming pattern when you have 3 counts per measure. So you use this on 3/4 time. So I've drawn a picture of a hand, and you labeled your thumb P, your index finger I, middle M, A, annular, that's your ring finger, P-I-M-A. That comes from classical guitar instruction or folk guitar instruction. I took 2 semesters of folk or classical guitar when I was in college. I highly recommend that if you want to get serious about this. P-I-M-A. Up here we have a 3/4, then we have 2 lines that represent this is one measure, and then this would be a partial second measure. But in that first measure you have 1, 2, 3. You got 3 counts per measure. Those counts can be broken up into 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. And then you have underneath the 1, a P, that's your thumb, one underneath the and, an I, underneath the 2, M, underneath the 2 and, A, and then underneath the 3, M, underneath the and, I. So it'd be 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, for the guitar strumming pattern, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let me demonstrate quickly what that looks like on the guitar. You can use your thumb, and I would recommend watching another video to learn finger picking patterns. But you put your fingers down in what's called the home row. Grab a G chord on your guitar, put your thumb on the 6th string, your index finger on the 3rd, middle finger on the 2nd, and then your ring finger, or A, on the 1st, just like that, and then pluck them all together. Plant all your fingers back there, 6, 3, 2, 1. Plant them all together, and then play. Plant, play. Practice that. Plant, play. And then practice plant, and then go P-I-M-A. P-I-M-A. Plant, P-I-M-A, and repeat. Okay? And then you can go slow. plant, plant, and then go faster. Every time I'm planting, and just go as fast as you can. I can't go very fast, but every time I'm planting, and then practice this. Plant, P-I-M-A-M-I. P-I-M-A-M-I. A great exercise to just grab your guitar, sit on the couch, watching the news or whatever, or sitting on the front porch, swing, and just with your guitar in your hand and just practicing this over and over. It'll be well worth it, and it's something that you can use on a lot of hymns. I use a thumb pick to give me more volume. This is called a Golden Gate pick. This is what I recommend. It's fairly cheap. It's made out of a material that sounds nice on the strings. I have it kind of, I've worked it down a little bit with a nail file and smoothed it out so that it's not as pointy. This is my plastic one. It's also good. Dunlop, if you find one of those, they sound good on the strings. This one's not filed down, so you can see how much longer it is. They both sound good. Okay, now I'm going to go through the chords back here on this side. We have the chord family, and you can see up there the chords. I'm going to practice going through a verse here, the second verse. You can look at the chords and go through them with me. If you notice it's a G, it might be hard to see on your screen. I'm trying to do the best I can with this, so hopefully it'll be helpful to you. You got a G, your bass note is on the 6th string, and then G7 over B. G7 over B. Now to do that, I've got my middle finger right here on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and my index finger is on the 1st string, 1st fret. Okay. C chord, and then G chord. E minor. I have a lowercase e written in there. I started writing my minor chords that way in a lowercase. That's E minor. Then A7. A7, the bass note's on the 5th string. Remember to plant and then play. Okay. Then the D chord, plant with your thumb on the 4th string for the bass note. D7. Plant on a G chord. We'll do that second stanza. I'm on How Precious Did That Grace Appear. That's the bottom line of chords there. How precious did G7 over B that C grace appear. The I D. But on this one, you want to do a D sus. So that's your pinky, right there. Your pinky is down. Let's see if I can see that right there. Your pinky is down on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and that's a D sus 4. Okay. So D sus 4, and then D7. And that was first believe, and then back to the G chord. Yeah, I first believe. All right, now I'll also show you a G7 or a G sus. So the G chord, if you do it with your ring finger on the 6th string, your middle finger on the 5th string, and then your pinky on the 1st string. If you do that instead of the other way that you start out with, if you do that, that's a finger picking chord placement. And they do that so that they can get the sus. So the sus is on the 2nd string, 1st fret. do stuff like that. So try playing a G chord, G sus, G chord, G sus, and use that sus at the end of each stanza. So the I first believe, and kind of slow down a little bit. That lets folks know that you've come to the end of that stanza, and it that signals to them that we're holding out that last note. And then you just stop. First believed, and then just start singing the next verse. The Lord, and your voice just saying the Lord. I mean, you can't lead singing, you can't move your hand. So your voice tells them, okay, it's time to start again. So let's play through the fourth verse together. Through many dangerous toils and snares. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to play through this fourth verse or fourth stanza, and I'm going to do it with a strumming pattern. And then I'm going to show you how to modulate and go up a half step with the key, just like the piano players would do. We're going to use this strumming pattern right here. Bass, down, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and. 1, 2, 3, and. So with the G chord, you'd go bass, down, down, up. Like that. C chord, the bass note is on the 5th string, like that. E minor, the bass note's on the 6th string. A7, bass note's on the 5th string. D chord, bass note's on the 4th string. Same thing with D7. Okay. Okay, so let's go through that fourth one. Through many dangers, toils, and snares. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already sussed come. D7. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me, Jesus, home. Like that. Then you'd stop, and then you'd start the next verse. Just pause briefly. But if you want to go up on that last verse, when we've been there 10,000 years, oftentimes we'll go up. That means to modulate up, and we're going to go a half step up. Now, the way that you do that, and grace will lead me home when we. So the way that you can do that, a simple way to do it, is just to go, grace will lead me home, and then hit the 4th string, 3rd fret. Just hit that note. Home. And then take and play an E flat 7. Take and play. So a C chord, the way that you get a C7 is to put down your pinky finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. And that's a C7. You just take that shape and move that shape up to where your ring finger is on the 6th fret. That's E flat 7. So again, playing on the G chord, bass, strum, play that note right there, and then go up to E flat 7. When we've been, now I'm playing bar chords. If you don't know bar chords, it's something you'd learn in classical guitar classes. Find a video on YouTube and learn all the standard ones. So I'm going to go from that. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's grace than when we first begun. All right, so like that is, so when you're playing it, it sounds good when you're in the midst of it, and that's exactly what a piano player would do. They would do a little bit more to it, I mean, but those are the basic notes that they'd use. Now I first believe when we've been there. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, leave some comments below for me. If you're trying to do the same thing that I'm doing with the guitar and leading congregational worship, let me know about it. And if you're like me and you don't want to throw your hymn book away, you just like to learn how to play these songs and help folks to sing along with you, get a hold of me. Send me a comment or send me an email or something off of my channel. I'd like to know about it. Here's one more bonus. Might as well. We're 16 minutes into the video. If you're still there and you'd like to know this, here's another way to play it. Kind of like bluegrass chords. That's the G chord. You put the ring finger on that second string, 3rd fret. So you have, what that actually is, that's a rock G chord. Something that rock players learned how to do in the 80s. So that's a G. Now a G7, you leave your index finger where it is. Pick up your middle finger and put it on the 4th string, 3rd fret. That's G7. Okay, and then play this. This is a C add 9, but it's your C chord. So to play C, you basically just from the G chord pick up these 2 fingers, put them down here on the 5th and the 4th string. So when we've been there 10,000 years, and then walk down to the E minor and leave your pinky and your ring finger right there. Bright shining, that's your E minor. Then A7, put your fingers like this, but leave your pinky down. As and then play a D7 sus. The sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. So if you don't want to go up a half step and modulate on that last verse, you can play the chords that way and just start strumming and get kind of a different sound there. All right. Lord bless you, and we'll see you on the next video.